Yes.
It's showtime, Jess. It's Friday, April 2nd.
Woohoo! I know.
We made it through April Fool's Day.
I did not get fooled. Did you get fooled?
Nope. My dog.
No, but you know, I was tempted to send an April Fool's. Yeah, there was April Fool's about the retreats, but I thought people would come and kill me if I did.
That would have been they would have come for you for sure.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
You're on.
Yes, I am. So,
We're here.
okay.
Happy Friday, guys.
All right. Got it?
Got it.
Okay.
We're on.
No, the volume. I mean.
Oh. I always forget where it is. Sorry, guys.
It's Friday. Do you expect anything less?
It's stereo here.
Oh my goodness.
I can't help, my brain is all muddled from yesterday.
Is that what it is? Marlene, I feel like, has another idea why your brain is muddled, but, you know, life. Just Barb in general. She's got Barb brain.
Age.
Nothing to do with age.
Not going there. I said nothing.
Ay, ay, ay.
Well, guys, good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Friday. Happy Monday if you're watching this in the future. I don't have a lot of business stuff to get to because nothing new came in this week. So we just, no, it's totally fine. It's totally fine because it will all show up. I did order some more Essex linen, some restocks, and a couple new colors.
Oh, really? What color are we getting this time?
I don't know, and if I say them, I'll say them wrong since, you know, you guys are still correcting me on clam and okra. What do you want from me? If you're here because you think this is a professional video, you're wrong. You can leave now. So, we are going to talk about rivets today. The only thing I have, like, a business before we get into that stuff is just a couple of quick little reminders, which I've told you guys, but just to also let you know. I did add some new videos. I think my watch is telling me I'm on Facebook. Thank you. I did add some new videos to YouTube, so if you are just strictly Facebook and you haven't looked at our YouTube channel, I would encourage you to jump over there. I put all of our Facebook Friday videos on there. That's why I always greet our YouTubers, because they go up on Monday. But there's a couple of videos on there that I can't put on Facebook. Facebook has limitations on size of, like, the media. Live videos are different. So there's, you know, different little videos that I have on YouTube, and I try to direct people there. So if you haven't checked it out, you can head over. I did one on rivets, so it is going to be kind of a lot of the same stuff I say today, but a lot of times people are just looking for that specifically, and they don't want to listen to me babble on for the first half an hour, and I understand. But we will talk about those today, and then there will also be that video as like a refresher if you need to go back and look at it. It's, I want to say 10 or 11 minutes. It's not a super in-depth video, but it just gives you the basics.
Do you know you have 59 videos on YouTube?
I did not.
According to this?
I did not. I have 59 videos. It'll be 60 on Monday.
3.75 thousand subscribers.
37.50. Yeah. Yeah? Wow. Look at that. And I haven't even been doing it for a year.
No.
So I'm happy. I'm happy with our numbers.
Yeah.
I know I'm not YouTube famous, but I'm not trying to be. I think it's grown nicely. It's grown at a good pace. So, yeah. Well, thank you, Barb.
Awesome.
I also put up a quick video on making an adjustable handle. So if you want to, it's included in the patterns that I have adjustable handles on, but sometimes I know it's easy to watch a video. Again, it's like a 10 or 12 minute video. And also, if you want to add one to something else, to a pattern you have that doesn't have one, it'll just give you the basics. I do mine a certain way. Other people do them differently. There's always more than one way to do something. This is just a real basic, easy way that I do it. All you need is a rectangle ring and a slide, the same width as your handle. Real simple. And I also did a quick video. It's like 3 or 4 minutes on the press that I use. Stop!
Covered by her phone. That's fine.
I don't understand why people don't want to watch these entire videos. It's so bizarre. Oh my God.
It's Friday, and that means
We're just gonna let Barb get her act together here.
A little trip around my.
Stop it! Are you good? April Fools! We don't know what's happening. We are a bunch of fools.
Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
I have nothing else to say. That's all. There's videos on YouTube. Go watch them.
Oh God, Charlie.
I don't even want. Oh God. This early in the video, what is it? I gotta know now. Okay, they're rolling over here, so I'm gonna have to find.
Girl, a wreck rolling and slide is a regular Friday night.
Charlie, too much. Oh my God, you guys kill me.
Charlie, when are you coming to be a guest?
Whenever you are a guest host. So, listen, I don't understand why people don't want to watch this entire thing just to find out how to put rivets in, but whatever. The only other thing I'm trying to compose myself right now, not look at these two, it's very difficult. The only other thing that I just want to let you know, again, in regards to YouTube, I seriously cannot even look at her, is I absolutely never, ever mind answering questions. You guys know that if you ask questions on the group or if you email me, don't message me on Facebook and Instagram. It's muddled and I never get things on time and it's just weird. But if you email me or if you ask something in the group, I always answer your questions. But we do have a ton of videos, as Barb said, well, a ton, 59, on YouTube that you can go that might answer some of your questions there. If you're, waiting. I go to bed early. I'm an old fart. I like to go to bed at like 8 o'clock. So if you're working at night and you're a night owl, you might not get a hold of me till the morning. So there's videos on there. There's different playlists. So there's tips and tricks, which is where a lot of the stuff goes. There's also product testing, if you want to watch me horribly test products like we did last week. And there's the tutorials. Any of our free tutorials are through YouTube. So you can download the PDF on the website and then watch, like for the boxy pouches, the little tiny boxy pouches that aren't lined, the iPad sleeves and different things like that. They're all linked on there. And if there's something you want me to add for future reference so that you can say, I always have a question on this. Can you put that on there? Just let me know and I can add a little video for you. The zipper video, people love that zipper video. It has the most views of anything on my page, channel. I don't know, whatever, YouTube, not YouTube in general. You know what I mean. But if you have questions, I'm so done at this point. I'm so distracted.
I'm sorry.
So it's okay because you guys are going to love this one. My next note here, item number 2 says old bags. And
Stop talking about Barb that way.
And Marley.
Oh my God.
And it's not what you think. I promise. Old bags. Old bags.
Sorry about that.
Bags multiple. I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about anyone. So I have to confess something to all of you. I have to confess to you how poorly operational my brain is. It's horrible. And also, I have something fun to show you that I have been forgetting about. So, quick little story. 2 weeks ago, when we did not have a router, that actually happened. It was not a lie. They can attest to it. The router literally died.
No.
I come into work at 7 a.m. and when I get here, I write my notes for I say the show, like this is a performance. I write my notes for our video.
Showtime.
It is our showtime. And so that morning, because it was chaotic, I dropped the dog off at the vet. My husband's calling me. The Wi-Fi is not working. I never wrote my notes, and then we had to cancel the video because we didn't have Wi-Fi. I spent the last week trying to remember what I was going to talk about, and I couldn't remember. And I said to Eric, I legitimately cannot remember. I had a topic. I was prepared. We were doing a video. Why can't I remember what the topic is? I didn't write it down anywhere. I had no notes. I had nothing. And it is, but I didn't get here till 8 with the dog and everything. As soon as I got in, he's like, the internet. And so I forgot. So I was here last weekend and I looked under this table and all of a sudden it was under there and I was like, oh, that's what I was going to show you guys. So here it is. My brain is shot. I need a transplant. So my mom, I know, right? My mom had come down earlier that week to do paperwork and taxes and all that adult stuff that I don't do. And so when she was here, she was like, here, I brought you a bunch of stuff. She brought me a whole bunch of old bags, I'm sorry, old purses and wallets and miscellaneous things that I made for her over the years.
Oh, that's cool.
I did not look at them. I actually have no idea what's under there.
Really?
Because I wanted it to be, like, I wanted to give you the first impression live.
Huh.
I don't know if I will remember all of them. I don't know how far back we go. My mom saved, like, I think almost every bag unless she destroyed it. So I have 2 piles of bags. I'm going to pull them out, and we're going to look at them together. This is going to be a page in the So Many Creations history.
There you
and
go.
a glance at how far I've come, question mark. I hope. I hope.
Let's hope.
So let's see. I don't know what she brought. I have no idea.
Should be interesting.
It's going to be interesting. Because I only saw the outside. She stacked them inside of each other.
Oh,
Oh my
okay.
God, they're filthy. All right. I don't even know where to start. Well, we'll start here. I think this is one of the first bags I ever made. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. I got to take all this stuff out. Okay. There's a label. My name on it. And my phone number. And my Yahoo email, which, I mean, I use, but it's not a good email. I think this is a Lazy Girl pattern. I believe. It has...
Looks like it.
It has a sleeve inside.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It has pockets. They're very short. Oh God, it has Velcro. It has Velcro. Just the sound of Velcro. Why was I so addicted to Velcro?
It's got binding on the top too, doesn't it?
I mean, hello.
Well, no, it's not binding. The lining is
is it the
folded
lining folded
over,
over?
but it looks like binding. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I'm pretty sure this is one of the first bags I ever made. Oh, guys, can we take a look at this? This large rectangle ring and these tiny little tabs. I'm going to assume that this was made circa 2005-ish, 6. I don't know. I don't have my website up, and my name isn't on here, so I don't know if I was still Brown or if I was Vandenberg. I don't know if I was married or not. Yeah, I'm going to assume that I did not have the resources to get the right size. And why is this smaller than this? Oh, Jessica. And also,
that was a pattern.
my top stitching has come so far. The stitches on this are like this big. They're not. Look how tiny they are.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So that was, wow. I don't even know what to say about this. Pretty fabric. I like the fabric.
Fabric is
I really do. And the dog hair. The dog hair is
dog hair
lovely.
really adds to it.
Yes. I think that might have been Cody dog hair. He's long gone. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Mom, for saving that. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, here's an oldie.
That's,
Here is a trendsetter.
Oh my goodness.
That was well loved. So if this is my pattern, this had to be 2011 or 12, depending on when I wrote this pattern. Maybe 12, maybe 13. This looks like a Bonnie and Camille fabric. It wore pretty well, considering my mom's kind of tough, but it looks faded. The corners don't look bad.
It looks sturdy.
It's filthy. There is a zippered pocket inside and a very fancy zipper pull that I made out of the leftover zipper. Oh, there's 2 zippered pockets.
How creative you were.
Oh my
goodness. Leftover zipper for a pull.
Oh, wait a minute. This is a trendsetter with
An outside pocket.
Yes, the trendsetter has an outside pocket, but it dips down on the
that's
side.
right. Okay.
This might have been a tester for the trendsetter. Okay. Oh my goodness. Here is a teeny tiny getaway bag. Apparently, I used to make this smaller before I made it smaller for you guys. I didn't remember.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow.
So you did do it that
I
size
did.
at one time.
Who knew? And there's a very dirty zipper pouch. Oh wow, look at the fading.
matches.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
kind of
As I
matches.
fall over. Look at the fading
Oh yeah.
on that fabric versus wow. You can tell which one was inside and which one was outside.
Your mother says,
My mom says what?
if you find cash, it's hers.
Finders keepers.
We're going to split
Wait, if I find cash, this woman's not going to leave me any little gems in here. Yeah, there's no cash. Hope, you failed me.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's change.
I got a penny. I got 2. My mom gave me her 2 cents, as usual.
There you go.
Here is a very early Prima Diva with some faux vinyl. No, it's not real vinyl, faux leather. It held up pretty well. Yeah. I remember buying this because I found a really cool shop on Etsy, and I used to get a ton of it in black and gray and this and like a dark brown, and they stopped making it. And I was like so bummed out. They're like, they don't manufacture that anymore. So
Cindy wants to know if all these bags are going into the Smithsonian.
The So Many Creations wing of the Smithsonian. Absolutely. And Mom, these are filthy. Which is good. See, this is why I make things for my mom, because she uses them and she loves them. And she loved them so much she saved them. They've been in the closet, I can tell. They've been I can just okay, here's another trendsetter. And I remember when my mom took this one, and yes, she took this one. Let me tell you, I remember the story of this. I was at her house preparing for a show of some kind, and we were packing some bags up. My mother literally took this bag and just took her stuff and started putting it in the bag. And I said, excuse me. She goes, oh, I like this one. And I remembered because I was like, but I like this one. It's really bright and pretty. And you don't like red. Like, I don't like red. Why are you taking that? And then that was the last time I saw it. This must have been the trendsetter completed because it's got the real pockets. Oh my gosh. I still have the worst top stitching ever. This is horrible. I'm so glad my top stitching has improved. I mean, it's even, but how close am I to the edge?
Yeah.
I am, that's not even a measurement. That is, it's like the thickness of a line away from the edge of the fabric. I don't know how I stayed on.
I don't know. That's because you're so good. Because it's very straight.
It's very straight.
Yeah.
But good God. Okay. This is a little bit more recent. It's an Ellie.
Did you say that was faux vinyl?
No, I did, but that's not what I meant. It's faux leather.
Somebody wants to know what faux vinyl is.
Faux vinyl is something I can't tell you about. It's
a secret.
It's a top secret item. It's government made. I can't tell you.
It's in production.
I'm not good with the words. They come out however they come out.
You got it.
They're all not always good. Here is what happens to cork when you are not careful. It wears pretty well. There's a little wear in the corners. And this is why we have fabric fusion, because that is not cork. That's all the cotton thread from the backing. But wow, that's soft. Feel how soft that is.
You know, I should have bought
from years of use. That is like soft.
The big one you made for me.
Oh, I forgot about that one too.
Has, to show how that wears, because that's been through airports and everything.
True.
With sewing machines in it.
You know how many germs are on that?
Well, they're all in my closet now.
Oh, there's some good ones in here. What is this? Oh, another little tiny getaway bag.
Oh, goodness.
Apparently this is my favorite. Oh, my sad little label. Well, this was made after my website came around, because I have a website.
Oh, okay.
And I think I started the website in 2008, maybe. Mom, do you want your lifesaver? Oh, and a nail file. Where's the money, Hope?
Hope you didn't clean out your purses very well.
Well, she did. She took the cash and valuables.
Yeah.
This one, the handles have seen better days.
Oh, yeah.
Holy wow.
Oh, gosh. You're saving that one.
Wow. Yeah. I remember some of these fabrics. Some of them I don't. I'm pretty sure a lot of these are from Joann's. I know that's Joel Dewberry, but I think some of these are actually Joann's fabrics.
Could be.
Because I loved Joann's back in the day. I shopped there a lot. I can't tell you the last time I've been in a Joann's. Not even because of the pandemic, just because. I don't know. I just don't go there anymore. We have a Lucy. Oh, yes. This one I made at your retreat.
Oh, okay.
I was working on this at Barb's retreat. There's also no money in here. Oh.
Check the outside pocket.
I'm up to 12 cents now.
Check the outside pocket. Maybe she stuck something in there and forgot.
No.
No.
Wait, there's a back pocket. No.
Share the lifesaver with the girls. Thanks, Hope. We love you too, Hope.
I got a lifesaver in 12 cents so far.
What does Fabric Fusion do for the bag straps?
Fabric Fusion seals the edges when you use cork or vinyl or anything that is non-fraying that you can use like with a raw edge like I have here. And so it's a glue and it will seal the edge, and that way any of your backing fabric threads don't fray, and it just kind of, it finishes the edge a little bit. It's clear, so it's not going to add a color or anything, but we like it. And Barb, what did you use it on again? You used it on a quilt.
I used it in a tear in a quilt.
A hole in a quilt that she fixed. Because it's a fabric glue.
Yeah, it worked.
How do you apply it? I mean, you don't just take the bottle and run it along the
I do. So I have a video. Somebody actually this morning emailed me, and I emailed her back. There is a video on YouTube. I think I had posted it on here as well. But I take the tube of glue and I kind of run a little bit on there and then I rub it with my finger. You can use a paintbrush if you want, but I just rub it with my finger and then I wipe the edge off to make sure it's not on the cork, because on a pearlized cork you won't notice, but on a solid cork you might see that it's a little bit shiny. And then I just kind of blend it in with my finger and work my way down. I let it dry for a few hours before I add hardware. It's pretty simple to use and there's no aren't any crazy instructions you need for it. But check out that video. I think Sue Smith was the one that had asked me about it and I said I'll do a video, and it was just a nice quick easy video.
Do you know you have 2 people making diva wallets right now while you're talking?
Right now?
Right now.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Here are, because my mom doesn't like diva wallets, they're too small. So here are her Prima Divas with cork.
She carries those as wallets?
Are you kidding? Listen.
You think I'm bad?
I love my mom. Mom, you know that. But my mom carries everything she's ever owned when she goes anywhere. She fills this thing. It is like 10 to 12 pounds of change. She always has money. And I'm really disappointed she didn't leave me any.
Wait a minute.
Credit card, is there? Oh, 13 cents. Okay. She has every credit card and store rewards card. She carries them all. I don't think she carries pictures of my sister and I anymore. You know,
Sounds
whatever.
familiar. Hope I'm right there with you.
I mean, you should, and show everybody you meet what your children look like. I'm just saying. Emily would agree with me.
I'm old for that. I only do that when kids are little.
So, I'm always going to be her baby.
All her pictures are on her iPhone, so she doesn't
Yeah, there you
carry
go.
a picture.
I do have a
Show
question.
them their iPhone.
Question.
Oh, is it from my mother?
No, not yet. Can the mini diva wallet be made with cork on the outside, or is it too thick to do easily?
Yes. Yes, and yes. Yes, you can do it. There's one somewhere. I don't know where it is. Yes, you can. But it does get very thick in the frame because of that extra zippered compartment on the outside. It can be done. I have done it. I know that it can be done. But here's the tip, and I gave you guys this tip a little while ago, but just as a reminder, because I don't think I can say it enough. Underneath the frame, before this goes on, stitch as close to the edge and go back and forth a few times. If you close this edge and kind of flatten it and compress it, it will go in the frame easier. Don't interface the cork. And you don't need to do anything special. Just make the wallet exactly as is. Make sure the interfacing is short, the way the pattern says. Don't interface the cork, and make sure you really stitch across those edges. And what I do is I get one corner in and I work it in and I put the screw in immediately. And then I try to kind of like keep pulling it up into the frame. Use a little flat-handled flat screwdriver or a butter knife if you have to push it in there. It will go in. It is a little challenging, a little bit more so than fabric. But yes, it's totally possible. So here's the last opportunity for cash, girls. Oh, that was a big one. It was a nickel.
Oh my gosh!
That was a
Pretty soon
nickel.
you'll be able to buy us coffee.
I have 18 cents.
Oh no, we
No
can't get anything.
dollars.
Some penny candies?
Oh, and a dime.
You could have at least
up
left
to
enough
28
for coffee
cents.
for us.
28 cents if we live in the 1930s maybe, but so these are some wallets. And the last bag, this is from my first
Money?
no. It's an eyeglass cleaner. That's gold though. I like that. This is from my first fabric line. So this is fairly recent. I remember making this one. So yeah. So thank you for joining us for a stroll through memory lane. And for 28 cents and a lifesaver that I made for my mother.
And an eyeglass cleaner.
And an eyeglass cleaner. This is a nice thick one too.
There you go.
So
What more could you ask for?
I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I had said to her when she was getting ready to come down, I said, just out of curiosity, do you still have all of the old purses that I made for you? Because you had told me once that you kept them all. what do you do with them? She goes, yeah, I kept them. She's like, I feel bad throwing them out because you made them. Even if I'm not using them, like, I feel guilty. And I said, if you remember, would you bring a couple? I did not expect she would bring that many. I think that's every bag I've ever made for her. I don't remember some of those. Like, they kind of were, like, I kind of remember them, but I don't. So yeah, so she brought all those down and she put them on the couch, and I immediately threw them under the table, which is why I didn't remember, because I didn't want to look at them. I wanted to look at them together. And now there's like crumbs and God knows what all over the table. Okay, so now my hands are filthy now, Mom. All right. So that was not our real topic today. Our real topic is going to be, God, this thing's heavy. The rivet press. So I'm going to go through a couple of the basics of what I purchased, how much they cost, why I got what I got, and then I'm going to actually show you how to put a rivet in. I have a box down here, so I'm sure this is not really on camera, but I have a box that I can set this on so it's a little bit higher. Can you see it at all? Probably not.
Yes, you can.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
You can,
all right.
Like,
I will put this up higher.
Right there.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, now you can see it.
All right. Well, I'll put it up higher anyway so I can bring it a little bit closer to you guys so we can see it.
Yep.
So let's talk about rivets. I did a video back in October. I don't think the quality was great because it was raining and horrible here, but regardless of the video itself, the words are there, and it was one of those videos, remember, we kept blooping in and out, and then I kept freezing. So there was a lot of information on there that I'm going to just tell you again today anyway. And like I said, you can also skip over all this and watch the video by itself on YouTube. So let's go through.
Can I ask you one quick question? I know you're going to get mad at me because I'm interrupting you, but I'm sorry. The last bag was a Harper?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was. I did not say that because I wasn't even thinking.
That's
yes.
fine.
Actually, more than half of these bags are not even patterns. They were just things that happened.
Yeah.
But the Harper, yes, that was actually a pattern. So with gypsy fabric. Okay, so when it comes to rivets, I know how completely overwhelming it can be because where do you start? What do I need to buy? How do I know what kind of rivets to get? There's just so much information. And if you go on YouTube or you Google, rivet setters or, putting in rivets, there's so much stuff out there. So I'm going to try to break it down for you with the least amount of, not information, but the least amount of confusion as possible, because I have tried to use rivets for years, and I thought that I was really bad at putting them in, or that they were just crummy, and somebody was doing something I didn't know how to do, and rivets just aren't for me. And I realized it's because of the tools that I was using. And here's the best example I can give you. We're going to talk about the price and the different options you have. Let's say that you are a first-time sewer and you don't know if you're going to like it, so you don't want to spend a lot on a sewing machine, and you go out and you buy a really inexpensive machine. You buy the $99 machine because it's what fits in your price point. That's fine. But what's going to happen is, as you get into things that machine can't handle, a lot of times we forget that it might be the equipment we're using, and we think that we can't do it. And that's what was happening with rivets. I was using the wrong tools, and they weren't coming out right. They were crooked, and they looked terrible. And I was like, well, obviously, rivets are terrible. Like, oh, why do people like these? They're stupid. I hate them. Well, the problem was there were no videos when I started putting them in. YouTube wasn't a thing. I was just buying anything I could find at Michael's or Joann's and just kind of winging it, and I didn't have the right stuff. So if you go on Amazon, if you go to any of the box stores, you're going to see things that look like this. You're going to see little rivet setting tools and these little discs that come with it. This is what I was trying to use. If you have mastered this and it works for you, you're amazing. I can't. My rivets never look good when I try to do the hand tools. So I hemmed and hawed and contemplated for a long time. I've wanted to buy a rivet press. I thought that they were more money than they were, and maybe they were when I looked at them originally. And I also thought, do I really need this? Like, what am I going to do with this thing? And as my husband says, as a mechanic, and I fully agree with him, his theory is if you're going to use a tool more than once, you should buy it. And I understand where he's coming from because I look at the things that he has out there, and it might be something he uses once or twice a year, but that job is so much easier to do than it would be using the wrong tools. We have tools out there that I think only do one thing, but it does that one thing well. This rivet setter that I have, it is for me for rivets, but it also can do other things. So when it comes to something like this hand set, this was $9.40 on Amazon. It's not a big investment. 10 bucks, get some rivets, I'm good to go. This right here by itself is $59.99. So I understand, yes, there's a big difference there, but for 60 bucks, if I'm going to use this a few times, I would much rather do this because I know that this is going to give me better results. I purchased the Gold Star. This is from goldstartools.com. There's a label right here on it. It is purple because I had the option to get purple, so why wouldn't I? They have 5 different colors. No, I know the color doesn't matter, but it's purple, so I like it.
She likes purple.
I like purple. Marlene likes purple.
Do they have an aqua one?
They have a, I think they do. I think they have, it's either an aqua or a light blue. They have a green, a pink, and like a, I forget what, red. So.
Can I give you a quick question in between?
Yeah.
The stock rivets, do you know if they work with any of these presses or ours?
We'll
rivets?
get into that in just a minute because it's not just about the press, it's about the parts that go in it. So we will get into that. So this is the base unit that you're going to purchase. And if you see right here, there's nothing in here. This is not going to work. This is not going to do anything because you need dies. And we're going to talk about the dies, the different ones that you can use and the ones that I have and what they do. So I purchased this, again, I purchased this with my own money. This is not sponsored. This is my stuff. I don't sell these. I have no affiliation. I don't know anybody that works at Gold Star. But I purchased this one because I had heard a lot of good things about them, and a couple of the bag makers that I follow talked about these all the time, and this was the one that they used, so it's the one that I got. Cam Snap, K-A-M, is the other popular brand of rivet press that you might hear of. Some of you might have one. From what I can tell, and no, I have never used one, they're essentially the same tool. They're running in the same price point. They do the same thing. I don't see that you need to go for one or the other, but this is the one that I use, so this is the one that I can talk about. If you have a Cam Snap, by all means, let me know if you like it, if you don't like it, if there's anything that you find limiting. But I purchased this one probably about a year ago, and I really like it. It is heavy. It is kind of heavy, and there's holes. Try not to pinch my fingers. There's holes here so that if you have a permanent work surface and you want to drill this down so that you don't have to worry about it moving, you can do that. I move mine around, so it's always kind of free. I purchased what they call the Lauren set. I have no idea why it's the only one that has a girl's name. It's bizarre. Good reason to buy it. I don't know why. But the reason I purchased that set, it was not because of the name. It came with this, and it came with 2 accessories. It came with the setting tool. This is for an 8mm, which we will talk about. And it also came with a punch. Now, in hindsight, if I were to purchase this today, I wouldn't purchase that set. That set was $84.99. So you get a discount when you buy it as a set. The only reason I would not purchase that particular set is because I don't really like the punch part. I find it to be somewhat useless because I have this tool. And I like this hand punch way better than the punch that's in here. Now it's gonna be your personal situation. I do not have arthritis. I do not have issues with my hands. This is much easier if you have any kind of hand issues. This might be too much for you. If this doesn't work, you might want to look at the punches that you can get with the machine. But here's my only issue with that. This I got on Amazon, $19.97. So for under $20, I have 6 punches. The punches themselves, which this is the setter, the punch which comes in 2 pieces, they run anywhere from $29.99 to $44.99. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about the pieces themselves. So if I want 3 or 4 different sizes, I have to spend $30 to $45 for each one. I don't really agree with that. I don't like that. So I would rather just have 1 punch. So that's just me. I use mostly the same size because I use the same size rivets. But as we get into other things, I can use this for pearl snaps. I can use it for grommets. I can use it for different styles of rivets. I would rather invest in the dies than in the punches. That's just me. Mm-hmm.
Does that come with any dies with it initially?
So if you buy just the unit, it comes with nothing.
Okay.
That is $60.
Yep.
if you buy this with one set, one die, and this is just the prices they had on the website today, which I don't think they've changed much, it's $70. So for $60,
So it's $10.
and $30, and you can, these are, yeah, the press itself is $60.
Yeah.
This set is $30.
Oh, okay.
So you get it for $70, so you save $20.
Okay.
So I think their combos are really good if you're just starting out, and they do have different combos. Like I said, I did the $85 one. I don't use one of the punches, so I would probably just do, you know, save myself $15 and buy the smaller set. But live and learn, you know. Like I said, the dies, these parts right here, these are the expensive part. These are anywhere from $30 to $50 depending on what they do. And I have one, this is not relevant to today, but I just wanted to show you.
Wow.
This is a grommet setter. So
That's one
it's so
big
heavy and it's
grommet
huge.
setter.
This works in here, but this was like $45, I think, because I'm trying some things out for the future, for you, for all of you lovely people out there.
Wow, those are heavy.
Yeah.
You were using plastic grommets? Have you tried it on plastic
I
grommets?
would not. Because
gonna
I think
say, I
you
would
would
go,
Hercules yourself into breaking that plastic.
Wow.
But what I was trying it with, it worked, and I bought another one too, a smaller one. But I have a bunch of different dies. They're at home because I forgot them, but they're not relevant really for today. I bought some for snaps and some for pearl snaps. Some of those things, if you are putting like a snap, they're actually a 4-piece set because you need the female part and the male part, and there's 2 for each. So there's so many options once you have the base unit, but you can get into really spending. It's kind of like your sewing machine. You get your basic sewing machine and you decide to do free motion quilting, you got to buy that foot. You want a walking foot, you got to buy that foot. It does add up, but it doesn't have to if you're just keeping it basic like what we're going to do today. So I just want to make sure I talked about all the, just to give you an idea on pricing. Again, this has nothing to do with me. I'm not telling you how to spend your money. I want you to have good results. I don't have good results with these things. That's all I'm saying. If you are good at them, then you are a better person than I am, because I cannot, to save my life, make that thing work.
Or you have a good friend like Jess that has one that lets you
And
borrow.
let you borrow one. Yes. I have so many fun toys that they get to borrow. So anytime they want. So, you know.
What?
It's not relevant. Never mind.
It's not relevant. Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
What do you want, my car?
No, something popped into my head and I wanted to remind her, but it's not relevant.
So
It'll go away.
It'll go away. I
About
understand.
it.
Do you want to write it down?
Yeah.
Okay. Here. Hold on. I have to help Marlene. Okay. Marlene's writing herself a note. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this up a little bit higher so you guys can see it. I'm going to show you how these work, how they go in, how I use my punch, and I'm going to put a couple of rivets in, and we will go forward. So let me just move this.
How much?
Oh, okay.
I sent you a thing.
Would you just tell me how I look
Let's
here?
make sure she's centered. Oh my goodness.
Is that close enough?
That
Is it
looks
up high?
perfect.
Okay. So,
Perfect.
and I need to stand up. So, this video is also not sponsored by Uline, but I'm just using this box because I have nothing else to lean on, and I want you guys to see. So
It
here
doesn't
is.
say that on the side.
Okay,
anyways. It just says made in China. On the
Made in
bottom.
China.
But you
It's
can't
not.
see that.
So here is my base
Your
unit.
head is cut off. That's all.
That's okay.
But you're
You
perfect.
you can hear me. That's all you need.
Yep.
So here is my base unit. The one thing, just side note, this handle does not come attached. There's one screw and one nut that you have to put in. It takes like 2 seconds. So just so that you know, when it comes in the package, it's not attached. So here's your handle. Down here, there is a hole right here. And then up here, there is a threaded hole for a screw. And I'll show you what parts go where. And then you have your spring here. Keep your fingers away from that. It's going to hurt if you put your fingers in there, because that is where you are pushing. Okay, so this thing comes down, and that's how we're going to set a rivet. So the die that I have here, and if you are thinking about purchasing something like this, either the cam set or a gold star, there's other ones out there. I saw a bunch of no-name miscellaneous ones on Amazon. Be careful. I love Amazon, but I also hate Amazon. Be careful that you're not buying something that is plastic or it's not heavy duty enough. This is made to do a lot of things. Like I said, it's heavy. This thing probably weighs 5-6 pounds. It's got weight to it.
Yeah.
So it's not going to fall over, and you don't want to buy something and then end up spending, you know, $60 and be disappointed. So just be careful. Read the reviews if you're not buying something that somebody you know, like myself, has recommended.
A lot of these people are also saying the cam press one is good too.
Yes, the Cam Snap one is great, and from what I have heard from people that use it and what I have seen looking online, they're very similar. I really don't see any difference, and I was looking at the price. The price for the base units were exactly the same. The price for the these pieces were the same. So these are the two pieces that you need. This is for a double cap rivet. And so what does that mean? That is what we sell here. So a double cap rivet is exactly like it sounds. It is a rivet that has two caps. So it's the same on both sides. It's very hard because they're so tiny to hold them up. So there is this part right here, which has a post, and there is this part right here, which is a cap. I don't even know if I'm in camera or not.
You're in camera.
I'm trying. Okay. So you have a post and you have a cap. When you put these together, you will hear a little bit of a snap, but you need to use something that's going to squish the post into the cap and hold it together. That's why they don't come out. If you just snap these together, they're going to open up. The double cap means that it's the same on the front and the back, so I don't really consider a front and a back to these. I just put them in the bag and whatever happens, happens. If I'm using rainbow ones, I might pick the one that has more rainbow to put towards the front, but there really isn't a wrong and a right to this. The measurements are important when it comes to rivets. There's going to be two measurements. Ours are 8 by 8, and what that means is it's 8 across, it's 8 millimeters, and 8 is the post. You need to make sure you know what you're getting so that you know if it's going to work. So if you were getting something with a super long post, that would be for thicker fabrics. That would be for lots of layers, leathers, something heavy duty. If you're getting a shorter post, it may work, but if it doesn't have enough, if the post isn't long enough to really connect, it might not stay in long enough. I did a lot of research and a lot of measuring and a lot of testing to make sure that the post size that we were carrying would work when you were doing something like this. This is 4 layers of cork. It's folded over twice and then it's folded around a ring. So I wanted to make sure it would go through there. I wanted to make sure that it would also be enough if I was using it for decoration, which I did here. This is not attached. It's just decorative, and it's long enough or short enough, depending on how you look at it, to just go through 2 layers and not be too long. You don't want your rivets too long and you don't want them too short. But I would rather have them a little on the short side than too long, because if they're too long, they're going to be loose and they might get crooked. And what I mean by that is when you put these in, and this was always the problem I had with this tool, when you put them in, you want your post to go up and down. You don't want it to slant to the side and to have your caps kind of go off to the side. So it's not a hard tool to use. I would say, you know, play around with it a little bit before you maybe put it on your finished bag. Play with some rivets. I know I hate wasting product, but I wouldn't go right to a bag until I was comfortable using it a couple of times. So this right here was made for the 8 millimeter, and it's based on the size of the width. It doesn't matter about the height. This opening right here, this is like a rubber. This opening right here and this opening right here are made so that these little pieces, wherever it went, that little circle fits in there nicely. And you can see that it fits in there and it doesn't fall out. We want it to be held in there nice and tightly so that when we push this together, it smooshes it. It's very technical. So
it's smooshed.
How do we put these pieces in? Well, this right here, this has a spring. It just sits in the hole. This right here has the thread. This needs to go up on the top. So I'm just going to thread this in. I got to find it first. Okay. And the best tip that I can give you, and I said this in the YouTube video as well, do not leave this loose and wobbly, and do not over tighten it. What I did the first time is I put it in and I cranked it real hard because I wanted to make sure it stayed in. If you over tighten it, every time you push this down, it's pushing further in, and then it's really hard to get out. Oh. And I sat there and struggled and almost asked my husband, but didn't want to give in and ask him for help, and finally got it out. So what I do when I put it in, I tighten it until it stops turning and I leave it alone. So don't over tighten it. It will cause you issues. And then this piece just sits right in there. And if it seems too tall, there's a spring So just push it down and just pop it in. This doesn't get screwed in. This just stays loose. Okay? So let me grab this. So I have a handle here and a little swivel hook. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the swivel hook on here and fold that over and add a couple of rivets. I will highly recommend that you do not do what I do and you actually measure and space them out. I do not do that because I'm lazy and it's more fun that way for you guys. So, so I'm just going to wing it. I'm just going to wing it today because that's the motto of my life. So let's talk a little bit about this guy right here. This is the punch, and you can see that there's like a wheel and there's an arrow. What you're going to do, and I hurt myself earlier doing this, you're just going to keep turning until you get to the hole. And this is much easier when people are not watching you. Like this. And you're just going to turn until you get to the hole that you want. And I want to go one more.
I actually have one of those. And I kept trying to think, why in the world do I have it?
Well, I probably have bought more than I can tell you over the years and then thought, I hate rivets, and threw them out and then bought them again.
I never used it for rivets.
And
I used it to put holes in belts.
I probably bought it for no reason, but, you know, just cleaning out some of the little leftovers. I also purchased this little awl. It's a little clover awl. I haven't lost the cap yet, which really shocks me.
Yeah.
And this was like $7 on Amazon. But I use this when I have to clean up a hole after I punched it or to get the little leftover bits out. So this has 6 different punches. I use the second from the smallest. You want to not go too large, because if you make too large of a hole, you don't want your rivet to pop out. Kind of like when we put in a twist lock, you want to make sure that that it's not going to pop out of that opening. So I found that the small one is really, really small. It's a little bit too tight. I found that this second one works really nicely. And if I was using one of the dies in here, I would be putting it underneath, but I like to use this tool. You can absolutely mark it, and you can even use a binding clip to hold your strap. So what I'm going to do here, this is extremely awkward. All right, there we go. So I'm just going to figure out where I want it, and I always use it with this side, the back side facing up, because I want to make sure that I'm on both pieces. I don't want my hole to be off the edge. And I'm going to say, yeah, it looks good. We'll find out if it's centered. And the crunch. I love the crunch. And then I just kind of twist it around, take it out, and take my little awl and poke any of those little bits that are left over. And now I'm ready to punch. No, I'm ready to set. Okay, so we're going to I take the one with the post. Again, it doesn't matter what side.
Now, is that hole clear through?
It is. It's all the way through both sides.
Okay.
Okay.
But it doesn't leave crap after you use the awl on it.
Nope. Most of the time with this punch, it doesn't. You might get like one little thread. You can use your scissors, but I just use the awl to poke that out. So that's not bad. It's pretty centered. So I just put that through, and then I'm going to hold this close to my microphone just to see if you can hear it. You hear that little click? So there we go. That was a false click. So it's in, but you can see it's not, it still moves, and I can still pop this off. So what I'm going to do now is put this in here. So I take my piece, it's kind of, I can feel that it's sitting in the bottom part, it's in there, in straight, and now I'm just going to move this down, make sure it's where I want it. And here's the one thing, hopefully this box does not fail me. When you do this, you're going to push, and you feel like it's in, give it another push. You kind of feel like a double click, and then pop it out, and you're in. And it's straight. It's straight, and even I had bad rivet days. I think I was telling Chris and Leslie when they were shopping here, I had a rivet that went like this, and the reason was this was not even tight. This was kind of like wobbly and hanging out. I didn't realize it because I hadn't used it in so long, and when I went to put it in, this moved, and my rivet went crooked. So always just make sure that that's in there tight. But that's it. It's not a hard thing to do. Yes, Marlene has a question.
I have a question.
Yes.
She raised her hand.
She did.
So you can't just, without putting a hole in here first, put it here and have the thing
Correct. Yes, you have to put the hole in for the rivet to sit in. So you have to punch first, then you have to set it. If you don't, the rivet ends are not sharp. So it's not like a screw that's going to go through. Okay. You have to give it a place to sit.
It's funny because I always thought the ends were sharp and it just went
No.
through. Yeah.
And there are different styles of rivets. They have ones that look like studs. You know, like always remember like a studded collar. You need a different setting tool. This is not going to work for that. There's different sizes of rivets. So if I want to do a 9mm rivet instead of the 8, and I'm not talking about the post, I'm talking about the width, this isn't going to work. It's too big or it's too small. If I want to do a 6mm, I may be able to make this work, but it's going to be a little bit big. I could chance my rivet being crooked. So that's the one downfall, is that every time I do a different size unit, I need to get the right set for that. That's why I stick with 8. 8 is great. It works for pretty much everything I'm doing, so I'm not stressing about having to keep spending $30 every time. Now, if you were doing that same process with one of these, you get to put your pieces in, and I'm not going to do this because I would probably break the table. There's like a little divot here, and there's a couple different sizes. Then there's a little rounded end here that's going to sit on the rivet. So you're going to put your rivet in the hole. You're going to put this here. You see how sturdy that is? And then you're going to put this on a hard surface, and you're going to pound it, and you're going to hope that it works out. 99% of the ones that I did never did. Like I said, this is just not for me. It just doesn't, I can't do it. And I'm okay with that. I'm done being defeated. The amount of money I have spent on these things over the years, I probably could have bought 3 of these. Because I would buy them, get frustrated, throw it out, say I'm done with rivets, and then I'd buy another set. This one also came with 2 of its own punches. I really don't like these either. They're punches.
That's to put the hole in?
That's what I was banging on the floor over there earlier.
That's what you were doing.
So this is to put the hole in. So it's an all-inclusive piece for $9.40, but personally, the only reason I bought it was to show you guys. I will not be using this. So let me move my box so I can sit on my butt. This is heavy. I don't know what's in here.
Grid wall accessories.
Oh, it's hooks. Okay.
Oh, it is pretty.
It's heavy, but
It could be a good doorstop.
it could be a wonderful doorstop.
A good
Weapon.
It's also good for 1, 2,
Pump arm
3, 4. So there's lots of uses. But then you got 1, 2. I got to make sure my biceps are even. So, in closing, those are the way that I put in rivets. Those are the things that I have found that work for me. Again, I'm not telling you how to spend your money and what to do with your money, but if you want to get into rivets and it's something that you've wanted to do, I am going to try and discourage you from trying this first, because once you get frustrated with this and ruin rivets, you're just going to be annoyed. If you feel like rivets are what you want to do and you're going to get into it and you can afford to, spend $70 and get a $5 pack of rivets, I think you're going to be happier with this. Yes, Marnie?
So basically, work smarter, not harder.
Thank you. Yes.
And yes, if you want, get a friend and buy one together and share it.
You can also do that. I know a lot of you sew together.
Yeah.
But this is... Jessica that made those bags was like, I'm not buying one of those. Those are expensive. Velcro works fine. Yeah. Velcro is fine. It's just not really my cup of tea anymore. But I was like, I can't buy this thing. Do you know how expensive those are? What am I going to do with them? Joann's has this one for $10. That's what I'm going to buy.
That was back in the day.
And that was back in the day when there wasn't a YouTube person to say, here's how you use it. It's not that hard. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but remember when the internet was like still new for all of us and there weren't as many websites, and so you'd want to find something and it would take you hours.
Yeah.
What is that thing called? And you're typing and typing and you can't find it. And then you find it and you still have to call them to order it. And it was just, it was very barbaric. Look how far we've all come. But now I can go on and say, maybe I want a gold star, maybe I want a camp snap. I want to watch 100 videos on YouTube before I decide. You can do that now. I have no association with them. It's purple and I like this one. That's it. But it works for me. And if I never do anything besides these rivets, all I ever need is this one press and I'm good. I bought some others because I wanted to play around and I wanted to get a feel for this. I wanted to play with grommets. We're working on that. I wanted to play with snaps. I don't know if I'll ever sell snaps, but I might make a video about them because they were kind of fun to do. It's one of those, like, you get it done, you're like, oh, look at that, I put that in. That's pretty cool. Like, that looks so professional.
So easily
I'm very
entertained.
easily amused. I'm very easily amused.
Charlie
Yes.
wants to know how you store your dies to keep track of them.
Charlie, funny.
It's a secret. She doesn't. We find them everywhere.
No, my husband was on his way here today, and I texted him and said, "Are you still home?" And he was like, "Why? What do you need?" And I said, "Never mind. You're already on your way." I was going to ask him because I couldn't think of where specifically they were. I was just going to tell him, you know, the one basket that's under the coffee table. Bring the whole thing. I did. I'm a disaster. I have a little plastic box that I try to keep them in. I don't know where this one's going to go.
Out in the shop. Out in the shop, it looks like it belongs.
Follow me for more organization tips. I don't have an answer. I just try to keep them either in a Ziploc bag together. I do have some in a box. The snap ones that have like 4 pieces, they are labeled. I put little pieces of paper in them so that I knew what they were, so I didn't have to keep looking at the manual that they came with. Yes, they came with a booklet because they knew that I didn't know how to use them. So that I don't have.
To the container store.
Oh, that would be fun. I love the thought of organizing. I'm just not good at following through. Yes.
Judy wants to know if the handle grip comes with the press. It does, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It comes with it, and it's got what do you
like
call this?
foamy
Foam.
stuff.
So it's comfortable. It's just not attached, but it's in the box. So there's right here. There's a
just slide it
screw,
out. Oh, the
and
handle.
there's a little nut. You just have to
Yeah.
put it in and twist it. It took me a few seconds, but just so that you don't open it and go, uh-oh, is something wrong here? This is separate in the box. And if I remember correctly, this was wrapped in so much bubble wrap that I was like, what is that? I didn't realize what it was.
What's going to break?
It was the hand. Yeah, I don't know what was going to break on here. There's a few chips on it, but I mean, it's not going to break.
Yeah,
It's metal. So, yes, this is the complete piece minus these pieces. Those are
the
separate.
dies, yeah.
It's going to
So,
last you a lifetime.
I don't see why this wouldn't last. I don't see what would break. I mean, I think that might
metal.
be plastic.
Is it plastic?
I think it's a heavy plastic, but I mean, I don't think I'm going to break this. I don't
can't
plan
imagine.
on trying to do something I shouldn't do with it, and I don't think it's going to fall on the
do it
floor.
like a tomahawk.
Do you want me to like throw it?
Throw it.
It's kind of heavy to throw. I would
Yeah.
recommend that. But if you're lucky and have a space where you don't have to move around all the time, you can screw it into your table and then it will just stay there. It's totally up to you. Mine is either here or at home or in my car. I don't know. I take it with me just in case of rivet emergencies. So you never know when you're going to need to put a rivet on. So let me see here. I think that was everything for putting rivets in.
emergency.
You never know when you'll have when
my
someone's
goodness.
like, "Do you by any chance have a rivet setting tool?" And I'm like, "I do."
It just
right
happens
here.
to be in my car.
Do you need it for 8mm? And they're like, "Yes." And then I'm the hero. So
Scouts, you're always prepared.
exactly. So you know I'm kidding, right? Okay. So everything I told you today, including prices, is in the video on YouTube. I put them in because I've been playing around with my new computer, and I put all of the prices and the sources in the video so that if you're watching it, you can see what I purchased and you know what I'm talking about. And you don't have to watch this nonsense again. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. That video is much more professional than this show that we're putting on. Let me see. I had a couple of other little things. I did show you guys that I've been playing with my new laser because I like to have toys. I am not ready to fully discuss it yet. First impression, the laser is super cool. It's really, really cool. I'm still working on depths and percentages and figuring out what's not going to make a hole in the cork. I'm getting closer there. The software that comes with the laser it's terrible. It's terrible. It was like written by a 3-year-old. So we'll talk more about that after I've had a chance to play with it a little bit more. So, okay, we're going to be a few minutes over today because I just wanted to talk really quickly because I think Pam had asked last week about the group bag, and the group bag has not been designed yet. But I wanted to just tell you guys what you can probably expect from the group bag based on all of your decisions. Because it was such a fun, thank you if you took the poll in the group. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I asked you guys a few weeks ago if you wanted to design a bag with me. Because I want to know what you look for in, like what would be your ideal purse. The one thing I didn't ask you about is the size, because size is so relative. It's really hard. There would have been 50 different sizes on there. So you're just going to have to trust me that based on what we sell the most, what you guys like. So I just wanted to go over a couple of these. You guys had me laughing on some of them. So as for handles, that was my first question. 64 of you said a single handle and an adjustable handle. That's your ideal. Is it you that doesn't like double handles?
They fall off my
What
shoulder
about
all
you?
the time.
You have
I don't have a preference.
You don't have a
I like them both.
preference.
It depends on the bag.
And Barb does not like double handles, and
Mine
I
always
actually
falls off.
I have narrow shoulders, and I constantly lose them. And I've gotten more into crossbody with all the traveling that I used to do back when I was a human being. So I do like an adjustable, even though I never adjust it. I don't know about you, but I get into the right position and I leave it alone. So I guess we all agree on that one. So we're going to have a single handle that's adjustable. As far as the closure, you guys want a zipper. Katie has been rallying for a simple magnet for a long time, and I'm trying to help her out. But just remember, you don't have to put the zipper in. Just because it's part of the pattern doesn't mean you have to put it in. But since the majority of you, 66 of you, wanted a zipper, it's probably what's going to happen in the back. Some of you said it didn't matter. Some of you said you wanted a zipper and a flap. And Katie, you're not alone. 2 of you asked for a simple magnet closure. So somebody else is with you on that. And I know Katie, so I'm allowed to pick on her.
Yeah.
Pockets, inside pockets. We had a vote of 67 for both, divided and zippered. And then the follow-up to that was, I don't care. Whatever you put in there. And Katie also had asked, what about a pleated pocket that would have a little more depth to it? And I love that idea because sometimes you have bulkier things, sunglasses, whatever that is. That is on there. And I really like that idea. It wasn't a vote, but it was in the comments. And Marlene likes that? Or you added?
Question.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered using the mesh in a pocket? It has a little bit of give to it, so that
Stretchy mesh?
stretchy mesh.
Stretchy mesh?
Yes.
As long as I don't have to say stretchy mesh. I have not used it, but I wrote a note, so I will look into that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do something along those lines. Let me know if you like stretchy mesh. That's a weird thing to say. It sounds like a weird food. I'll have the stretchy mesh, you know. So over easy with a side of toast. So
Hungry.
here's tell me about it. Here's my favorite question. And I said this last week and I still can't stop laughing. Shape, not size. Shape. Do you want your bag taller than it is wide or wider than it is tall? Some of you just said yes. So be taller and wider, which, guys, I love you, but you can't be taller than you are wide and wider than you are tall. You can't be both. You would just be a circle. Oh, is that what you got? Is that what you got? A circle bag?
That's it.
6 of you voted for both. I was crying. I think that might have been one of them. I'll admit. But, however, 61 of you like your bags better shorter and wider. So rectangular, horizontal.
Vertical.
Horizontal. Yes, horizontal.
Versus vertical.
Not vertical. Okay. See, that's why I didn't throw those words out there, because I would have been like, I actually don't remember the difference. And then quite a few of you said it needs to be a crossbody, which it will be because it's going to have a single handle that's adjustable. And a lot of you said, I don't care, which is fine. You're allowed to say you don't care. I just want to know if you care.
Somebody said, did you say anything about outside pocket?
That's the last one.
Sorry.
That's the last one. So listen, this is really funny. This one had a lot of votes versus, like, the handles that got a lot of votes. The rest of them got like a decent amount, but the outside pocket, you guys have strong opinions about outside pockets. 77% of you said any. I don't care what it is. I need an outside pocket. And I understand. I do. Kaylee, I love Kaylee, but she's lacking because she doesn't have an outside pocket. And I know because I'm the one that designed it. I understand
I need
where I flawed.
an outside pocket.
So do I know. But see, here's what happens. I can tell when things are designed in the winter. And I'll tell you why. Because when you live in upstate New York and you wear a coat all the time, you have coat pockets, cell phone keys. When I design in the winter, I'm thinking cell phone and keys. When I design in the summer, I'm like, oh shoot, where does the phone go? Where do the keys go? This is how I can tell how it happens. And now you know how my warped brain works. So 77 of you said, I don't care, but I need an outside pocket. 21 of you wanted a zip pocket. 9 of you said you wanted to open and in the back. You were very specific about where you wanted your pocket. And then a few of you said, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
But put it somewhere.
Well, some of them said, I don't care if there is one. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm easy. One more time, Melody, I have to laugh at you. When I said about inside pockets, I don't want any, and Melody said, is that a joke? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I just wanted to know, and none of you said, no. You guys all want pockets inside. So, you have spoken. I have heard. And now I have a very big task in front of me, because now the pressure is on to design an amazing bag, because if I don't do it right, you're all going to yell at me. So, I have work ahead of me. In the meantime, I am finishing up another pattern that has nothing to do with this, but ironically has a lot of these features, so you must all be in my head. And hopefully that will be done soon enough so we can have a talk on how I design things. That will be a real in-depth into my brain. Good luck with that.
Yeah. Will that be next week?
It's possible. It's possible.
Wow. I was only kidding.
No, it's possible.
I don't know when you find time to do all this stuff.
I don't have a personal life. And
I mean,
I don't.
I
don't talk to him at home.
Here.
No, but you work here.
I do, but I don't work that hard.
Well, that's true.
I wasn't work that. I get all his stuff done in the morning, and then the rest of the day is mine.
Okay.
And then if I have to answer the phone, I answer the phone. I also don't talk to him at home because he just comes home and he's tired and he just wants to go to bed. And I'm like, all right, bye. You know, the dogs are more distracting. I can't do anything without stopping and going, oh, you're so cute. You know, so I think that was everything. I hope that answered your questions. I might have just made more questions for you and for myself.
This one, Linda made a comment, which just happened to me recently. When my bag falls off the seat of my car, zippered pockets are necessary. Because remember when the guy cut me off and my bag I went on the floor and everything came flying out.
Yep, I totally understand that.
You
Zippers.
Don't zipper your pocket, your top.
There is no zipper on that one.
I know.
No.
Some of them you leave it wide open.
All right.
That was something. That was something that
interesting comment.
People used to say that to me at shows all the time, and it always boggled my mind. Does this bag have a zipper? And I'd say yes, like if they couldn't see it. But then they would go, "Well, I never use it." I'm like, but why do you need it then?
Charlie says the inside Jess's brain talk should be in the evening with adult beverages and stretchy mesh over easy. We'll have to look into that.
Maybe shouldn't have taken a drink. Listen, all of you that are encouraging me to do stuff with alcohol, trust me, it's not going to go the way that you want it to. It will be a mess. It will be horrible, horrible, horrible. You don't want it. You don't want it at all. But I will consider it.
Inside just brain talk.
Getting inside my brain is always an interesting place to be. I actually said to my husband not that long ago, I was doing something, I was trying to order something to play with, and I said, I know you probably think I'm crazy, you know, like I spend all this money to, you know, to research stuff, and he looked at me, this is not what I thought was coming, he looked at me and he goes, Jess, seriously? I was like, what? I'm thinking, oh, you're going to side with me, and he goes, think you're crazy? He goes, honey, I know you are, we've been together long enough, and I was like, that's not really where I thought this was, I thought this was like a pep talk, like, you're not crazy, he was like, no, I already know you are, I was like, thank you. So, yeah, I don't know.
That's why we all get along, because we're all crazy.
Because we're all a little freaking batty. Speaking of, so is Lisa. And so if you want to watch the log cabin video from yesterday.
I missed it yesterday.
It's really good. If you want to watch the log cabin video, we talked about flying geese and other birds. That's all I'm telling you.
Somebody wants to know when you designed the Diva wallets. What year? Do you have any idea?
2000, is it 12 or 13? Oh. Go grab a pattern. It was either 12 or 13. I want to say it was 12.
Let's see if I can find it.
Because I think I can see it right there. I can see it by the column. What does it say on the back?
2012.
2012. Yes, because the Diva wallet will be 10 years old next
are we gonna have a
January or
party?
February.
Are we going to have a party for it?
We didn't have a party when I turned 40, so no, we're not. We're done. Nobody threw me a party.
We could combine it.
During COVID.
Yeah.
But that's not my fault. It's still special. Say, anyway. So, sure, we'll have a diva.
We're going to have a diva party.
I am a diva. All right. I think we're done. Are we done? Are we?
I think so. I don't have anything else.
I think they're probably done because they're done.
I'm sure they're done. It's 12:09.
It's 12:09. Sorry, I kept you guys late. I think that is everything. If you have any questions, let me know. And I just realized, isn't Easter this Sunday?
It is.
It is. Happy Easter. I don't celebrate.
Oh, happy Easter to everybody.
Yeah, my mom invited us for dinner, but I'm lazy. So, yeah. So that's all. Have a nice Easter if you celebrate. Have a great weekend. Hopefully the weather is nicer than it is here.
We should have a virtual party.
We should have a virtual party. Let's have a party. That we could do at nighttime with drinks.
There you go.
Because it will not be kept for later. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out. Let me know if you need anything. Have an awesome weekend, and we will see you next Friday. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.